Trust GXT 488 Forze opinion. In addition to the spring steel in the headband, plastic was mainly used to manufacture the Trust GXT 488 Forze headset. In contrast to the chic and quite beefy design, it looks very light. On the outside of the ear cups, instead of the Trust logo, which has moved upwards onto the temple, we now find the PlayStation logo, which is framed by a blue trim. Also striking is the rather massive and stable looking gooseneck microphone, which can be easily folded up when not in use. Mirrored elements were used to adjust the size of the headband. Overall a pretty and modern sight. The build quality is okay so far. Both the folding mechanism and the attachment of the cable were made simply but very stably. Overall, the headset doesn't seem unbreakable, but when used properly, it should have a good durability. The cable remote control is also very light, so that it does not pull the cable in comfortably. The volume control is framed on both sides and cannot be adjusted too easily, so an undesirable change in volume is very unlikely. The microphone can also be deactivated using the slide switch on the left. The pop protection is realized with a removable foam sock. If this is removed, a surprisingly chic microphone appears. Here again we find blue elements. Thanks to the flexible gooseneck, the microphone can be optimally positioned and remain stable in the desired position. We even find blue inlays on the connector. The braided cable looks very valuable and is sufficiently flexible. The short cable length of 120 cm is due to the fact that this headset is intended for use with a controller, but it can also be used on a laptop without any problems. Since the GXT 488 only has a jack plug, the only installation step is to insert it. With this type of connection, we can not only operate the headset on a PS4 controller, but also on a PC, laptop or tablet, provided the appropriate connection is available. Comfort: the headband and the ear cups have generously sized padding with imitation leather cover. As a result, the Forze sits comfortably on the head and the ears are completely enclosed without it pressing uncomfortably anywhere. The contact pressure is quite low, so that glasses wearers should survive longer sessions without pressure points. Sounds: unfortunately the Trust Forze is not spared from own and cable noises, but these are kept within tolerable limits. As soon as audio is played, these are no longer important. Despite the closed construction, our environment is clearly aware of the sounds that are blowing around our ears. So for gamers with sensitive partners, so be careful here. As the Trust GXT 488 Forze headset does not have its own DAC or amplification, the sound experience is of course extremely dependent on the source used. We test once on the headset connection of a Nikon Revolution Pro controller, as well as on the jack output of an HP laptop with B&O sound system. The controller offers a sound image with very thin bass and somewhat emphasized mids. The resolution is very good so that important acoustic information can be recorded well. Action scenes, such as explosions, appear somewhat unimpressive. We can also turn up the volume until it hurts without causing distortion or clipping. On the other hand, the laptop offers a completely different sound picture. If we tune the sound somewhat using the integrated equalizer, we suddenly have powerful bass and all-round rich sound that is equally suitable for gaming, watching films and listening to music. There is still a slight emphasis on the mids here, but this is no longer so important. Even at maximum volume, there is no clipping or distortion. We are obviously not talking about high-end studio sound here, but the sound reproduction is quite decent in this price range. A real surprise. The picture is similar for the microphone. Our voice is a little teeny on the controller, almost like a radio. On the laptop it's much clearer. Hum and noise are minimal in both recordings. The Trust GXT 488 Forze is therefore ideally suited for communication. In our view, the first Trust headset with a PS4 license is a promising candidate. A chic, comfortable design, as well as good sound reproduction, depending on the source, and a decent microphone make it a real performance hit. Thanks to the jack plug, the Trust GXT 488 Forze headset can also be used flexibly. Plus, chic design. Good sound reproduction, depending on the source. Decent microphone. Good cable. Minus. Has a somewhat fragile effect at certain points. Relatively high sound emissions despite the closed construction.